Let's talk Panthers, shall we?
Just like David Tepper could pay me for free to do play calling for the Carolina Panthers at this point in the season.
I think there would be quite a few people that would step up for that price. Frank Reich refuses to confirm that Thomas Brown is going to remain the offensive play caller. He had two chances, two talking to the media, two availabilities to say Thomas Brown is going to remain the offensive play caller. He needs to say Thomas Brown will remain the offensive play caller. He needs to confirm, and even if he confirms it today or if he confirms it tomorrow, he should have confirmed it as early as humanly possible. I'll tell you why after we hear from Frank himself. Here he is talking to the media, Frank Reich, on if he plans on making any significant changes.
We're still evaluating, the lineups. There are no coaching changes. Still evaluating the lineup, and talking about, is it a rotation thing? Do we want to rotate some guys more or less or make any changes? Honestly, those discussions are every week because we do feel good about, some positions where we have some depth, and you want to get a chance to get a look at guys who you think are playing at a high level, not just to get a look at them, but you think can play winning football, and give guys opportunities.
All right, let's take a step back here. That's a lot of evaluation before deciding if you're going to make any significant changes. I was on WRAL News this morning, right, their news morning show. And Ken Thomas, who interviews me once a week, every Tuesday, to talk Panthers football, we jump on and we break it down what happened the previous week. He asked me for – he actually kind of pulled the okey doke on me because I know, right? I go on once a week. I know the rundown. I know he likes to start with something positive, right? Usually it's morning news, right? Hey, let's not start everyone's day on a downer.
Yeah,
he goes,
you're already stuck in traffic.
Give me something to be positive about. Give me something optimistic about the Panthers. So going into our conversation today, I had Emir Smith-Marsette's punt return in my back pocket, right? As soon as he asked me for a positive, boom, I was going to hit him with the punt return. Say, hey, special teams made a play. He phrases the question with, other than Emir Smith-Marsette's punt return, what do you have to be positive about? And I was like, oh, no, abort, right? This parachute is just a knapsack. But my pivot was, right, because, in this business, got to think on your feet. I said, well, actually, maybe being that bad and that ridiculed on national television on a Thursday night game where you have a long week until your next game could be a catalyst for changes that need to happen, right? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, against the Chicago Bears team whose record is equally as worse as yours.
Exactly. A team that owns your first-round pick, and those jokes were happening, and playing with an undrafted rookie free agent, and those jokes were happening. Maybe it would finally, or maybe not even finally, maybe it would give them another reason to experiment, to try, to do something different. Then it's like, hey, you plan on making any significant changes? Well, we're still in the process of. I almost want them to say, yes, we're making significant changes. What those are, we're still working on, but I guarantee you changes are coming because what we're doing right here isn't good enough. One of the things that should not be on the table for significant changes, one of the only things that should not be on the table for significant changes is the offensive play caller. Here's Frank Reich on if Thomas Brown, their offensive coordinator who took over play calling just a couple games ago, is going to continue to call plays for the offense.
No, I have not totally, dialed that in. Pretty much as I've said, we've been collaborative in much of what we do. I'm still evaluating the whole thing, and so, and how it actually is going to function or not. But
is there a chance you might be more collaborative than you have been the last few weeks?
I'm really just thinking the whole thing through. First of all, however we've done the play calling, who's ever been doing the play calling, we haven't performed as an offense. So let me just make that point clear, first of all. As I look towards, now the last half of the season, what's the best dynamic and why? Any decision that's ultimately made is just going to be based on that one pure factor. So that's how we'll approach it.
I just can't with the,
Well, I like how he says, let me be clear. And the clear he forgot about the clear. He was let me be. Let me be clear. I agree that the offense has not looked better under Thomas Brown than it did under Frank Reich. At times, it's looked worse.
Agreed.
They did win a game, but with context, the offense still didn't really get it going. I can't emphasize this enough. Let me be clear. You can't go back. You made the decision to switch. That is a point of no return situation. That is a point of no return decision. The offense needs to have confidence in the play calls. They need to have confidence in who's making the play calls. How can you be confident if you have seen it be so bad that the play caller got benched by the play caller?
You have to live and die by that at this point.
Frank Reich benched himself. Now he's going to bring himself back and expect the team to be all in? No. At least with Thomas Brown, you can hide behind, well, he's still getting his footing, right? It's only been a couple weeks. He's going to improve. This is his first time doing that. You can't be confident in Frank Reich's calls. You already said his calls, his play calls aren't worthy. And what is it always about? Bryce Young. What is it always about? What's best for Bryce Young? And guess what is best for Bryce Young? Consistency. Consistent voice. He needs one voice in his head so that he can start predicting what the play caller is thinking and what they want from him on each play. Translation is bad. All right, well, when Coach Reich called this play, this is what he was looking for, but Coach Brown is a little bit different. Play clock violation. It needs to be consistent. You made the choice to go to Thomas Brown, now you live in it. You made your bed, now you lay in it. And the other thing is this waffling is hurting the confidence of everybody. Well, we might stick with him. I don't know. We got to evaluate. Let me be clear. There's nothing clear. I might be collaborative. How collaborative? Well, that's a discussion for another day. And now you have Thomas Brown going, wow, he doesn't have confidence in me. Let me shake my ego. And also, the team is saying, wow, he doesn't have confidence in Thomas Brown. Why should we have confidence in Thomas Brown? And there's just a travesty of confidence all over the place in a sport that is all about confidence. Receivers have to run their routes as if they're going to be open on every play. Quarterbacks have to snap the ball out, step into it, throw it with decisiveness as if the play call is going to work. You hear about throwing somebody open, anticipating the window. If you don't trust the play caller, you don't anticipate the window because you're going, I don't trust him to know there's going to be a window there. So you do what people call waiting for college open, right? In college, you wait till you see a guy open, then you throw it. In the NFL, you have to throw it anticipating that the play is going to get somebody open by the time the ball gets there. Frank Reich, the first time he was posed the question, needed to scoff at the question. Is Thomas Brown going to continue to be your play caller? What kind of question is that? Of course he's going to be our play caller. He's been doing it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Him and Bryce are, they're just getting to know each other's style. Of course he's going to be the play caller. Next question. That's the only way to handle that. He's had 2 chances to do it. He's 0 for 2, which you might argue is how he is on picking play callers this year too.